let's get into our very last 20-minute segment of the show tonight.
It's time to do.
All right, so we're going to work on authentication for now, and then we're going to add our description. Right. As far as the HTML, we'll figure that out maybe next stream or something like that. I don't know. Because apparently it works for that person, but it doesn't work for us. So I don't know. So let's get to it. Let's go to here. All right. Let's go to. Let me open up my Postman real quick, just so I can see what type of authentication I'm. Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me here. Let's go to. All right, there we go. Let me see. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let me go to Talend. We were using basic authentication as a header, but I should be able to set up basic authentication. Let's see. Did we do that in? I'm looking at this over here, which you can do all this stuff for that other one. Tags, quotes. So let's do this. Let's mirror this, right? So title. And let's just copy this over here. And we can copy this license. Oops. And we have our servers. Although, should the servers be inside of info? Let's look at our documentation over here. Let's say advanced usage. Servers is inside of info, so we made a little bit of a boo boo over here, right? So let's go and move servers inside of info. And let's see what else. Tags. Let's move tags as well. And then I don't think we need to do paths because the paths should be getting taken care of. I don't know what components are. All right. So now, if we were to start up this document, if we were to start up this again, and we go here and we open that, and see, it didn't auto generate. So if I go to npm run swagger, let's close this. And it says app.js not found. Okay, so we want, let's try that. Let me see. Cannot resolve app.js. All right, let's try that. Oh, so okay, so all right, I have the, cool. So this could work. Now, if we go back to here, it has all the details. Now, I wonder if we were to go to here and we were to go to doc, still not found. Whatever. But it does generate it. I just don't know how we're supposed to get it as a web page. That's my only unhappiness, but that's fine. So if we go back, so the reason I didn't have to start up my Docker because I forgot. I have it set to point to the production database right now, so that's fine. And it updated this right here. So all right, cool. Let's go and let's start to plug in some additional data over here. Oh, I know why it didn't. I know why it didn't work when we press play, because it didn't work when we press play because this is set to run this as opposed to okay, I know what happened. So when we did the npm run swagger, we had updated the package.json to run swagger. So that actually started up the whole project. So when we did I still connected, but when we did the node autodoc swagger, it started up the application that way. All right, cool. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. All right. So let's go ahead into writing getting some descriptions and stuff like that. The first thing we would want to do is setting up our authentication. Is there any search on this? Because we would want to do, let's see what this generated. See, it doesn't have the authentication in there. So let's see. The authentication only talks about their let's go to the Swagger website so we can see how we're gonna. So basic authentication, components, basic auth. All right, so we would do so this is how you describe it. So if we're looking at it over here, let me move this over. So I can see both. Components, some schema, security schema. All right, so I'm going to try to set up this component inside of So we'll go into here, and then we should have components. Let me confirm that it's outside of inside of doc, outside of info. All right, cool. So components, and then we're going to go here. And now we are going to define that component to ah, we're going to define that component to, so this could be here. We're going to say security schemes. And we'll go with basic auth. And we'll say type HTTP. And we'll go with scheme basic. All right. And then outside of components, we should have security. And then we should have basic auth, like that. So if we're reading over on the Swagger documentation, the first section, security schemes, define the security scheme named basic auth, an arbitrary name. This scheme must have type HTTP and scheme basic. The security section then applies to basic authentication of the entire API. That's not, well, we don't have it for the entire API. The square bracket denotes the security scope used. The list is empty because basic auth does not use scopes. Security can be set globally, as in the example above, or on operational level. The latter is useful if only a subset of operations. We have this subset, but we need to. All right. So this part we can't use this yet. We would need to set it. So what we can do, we can run it to see if this is going to at least require security authentication, and then we can figure out how to set it in the actual path over here. Let's see how they do the bear auth. So inside of here, we can go to the path and then do Swagger security. So let's compare. I'm looking at over here. So we have security themes, basic auth, or spell it wrong, but I'll fix that. Basic auth, types, HTTP, scheme, basic. So that should work. And then when we go into the endpoint, we'll add the Swagger security, for example. And it's just going to be comments where we're going to be adding something like this in there. All right, cool. So let's go over here and we shall. Ooh, that might mess things up. Let's see. So we're going to do, I'm going to remove this one because this is not on the whole application. Or actually, I can leave it. Let's leave it for now and let's run it. That's not what I wanted to do either. So we want to go to terminal, npm run swagger. Cool. So now when we open this output, do we have, what's this? So we have author. So wait, why do I have, all right, so this is good. So now we have our authorization and we can add in our basic thing. Um, but this makes it available for everything, which is not what we want, right? So we're gonna remove this for now. And if we stop this and we run it again, and we go over here and we reload that, we shouldn't have. Okay, so I guess we do, but it is for. This didn't really matter. So, okay. So now let's let's go into our routes, and we can look at the documentation, and it says anywhere inside of like this open bracket thing. So after we have our request and our response, inside of the squiggly brackets, we can add in a comment for the Swagger security. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. So we are gonna go inside of here, and we're just gonna go here. This is semi-auto generated, right? So we're gonna go here. We're gonna say, I guess we'll start up here. Swagger.security equals. I don't like that the formatting for this isn't clean. Let's say basic auth colon. Let's go like that. And that is on the get request. Let's just try it for the get request first, and then we'll see what happens. All right. So we'll stop that, and we shall run it. And if we open our Swagger documentation, why is there a get here? I don't think there should be actually. So there's this one. I don't know where this one is from, but this one, let's take a look at this one. Try it out. Execute. What was the response that we got? 502 error bad gateway. Hmm. What if we enter in the auth? Oh, that's cool. You can log in and log out. So if we were to cancel, try it out, execute, still a 502.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
So we're getting there. The last thing, let me. So a couple of things to figure out with this is how to get the web page to generate. I think we'll spend some more time on this too. How to get the web page to generate. All right, so here we go. You see, our lock is here. Available authorization. I don't know why this one is necessarily here, but we'll figure that out. But I do think that I think this is.
Appreciate you.
Who is that? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I am happy that you are finding this information helpful and useful. But we are about to wrap it up. But so this is what I was looking for. So what we'll do, we'll continue with this next week because I'm really enjoying this. Because we're gonna have to define the authentication on this. This one doesn't have authentication. The actual random quote retriever on this one, and this one. And we have to figure out why. And by that time, maybe this will be in production. Not this part of the documentation, but the API itself will be in production. But we need to define, like, we need to add this to here, 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 and here, and find out why when we actually try it out. The available authorization. This says nothing on here. This is not good. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Anything else? I think I just want to. I think there's one more thing I want to. I think I want to throw in a description real quick. So if we go into the one that we just did, and I go to this is tagged. So I'm looking at this is tagged. I want description. If I just copy this, I do swagger description, and I add and I change. So what I just did is I put this in here, swagger description, and I put this would be, why did I put it on this path? This would be retrieve all quotes from the database. So I copied this one to here, and I say this one doesn't have that, and I say, so this one I don't even need that, or actually no, I can leave that, and I say get a random quote by author from the database, and I can even throw in a tags. And let's throw in I did description. Let's say it's summary. Swagger.summary. This endpoint is used to retrieve a random quote from the database using the author as a query parameter, it is used to serve random quotes on the UI. All right, so let's do one more generation. Actually, I forgot to fix this basic auth. Now, maybe now that it's going to fix this one. All right, so let's go ahead and let's try to run it again. So it'll be our last run of the night. And if I go over to here and we refresh that, there we go. We have this here. So if you open this, retrieve all quotes from the database. That's good. If I click on this, I see, says the blind man. And we go here. We go to, where's our random one? There goes our random. Oh, okay, quotes. Okay, cool. See default quotes. So we'll fix this up next week. But you see, we have a little description here. We have the summary here. We have a description. Maybe the summary should be shorter. So we're figuring it out as we go along. We'll need to add a query parameter in there as well. But I'm liking it. And I especially like it because every time we start it up, it'll look through the whole thing and generate our documentation for us. So that's very useful. Let's see if we were to. Oops, not that. Then that'll be it for tonight. So let's go to and authorize those. Let's say we try it out, execute. Still getting a bad gateway. We can investigate that to see what's going on. But we're making progress, right? We are making progress. Let's end it for tonight. Let's call it a night. Let's call it a night. It's been an amazing, amazing night. Great conversation, great topics, great coding, great implementation. I'm really, really excited about this. Once again, I do have to thank Heist King for the idea, the suggestion of using auto generation for Swagger documentation. Like your car says, no one does Swagger documentation like us.
I appreciate you.
All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna share my last tip. I'm gonna share my last tip. All right, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. And then I'll go through the comments, and then we'll end it. All right. So what is that last tip?
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.